You know what I just realized is super ironic about this episode? The closest we've ever been to having a situation like this on this show was during season 30, where a member of the Blue Collar Tribe pissed off half of his castmates, all but one of whom ended up making the merge with him. And the super ironic bit is that his name was also Dan. Yeah. But at least in Worlds Apart, they eventually managed to air everything out without having the game be disrupted too much, and all but one of the people that Dan offended were able to forgive him by the time the reunion finished. I don't think we're going to get that this time, because it isn't one person pisses off a lot of people and then later he admits it and everyone else comes to terms with the situation. Because Missy and Elizabeth have both admitted that they contributed to what was a huge problem, and even other castmates issued apologies on social media, like Aaron. I seem to recall that he said something during the episode, I forget what it was. And Aaron, on one of his social media accounts, don't follow any survivors on social media, partially because I'm behind, but he admitted that when he ended up rewatching the episode and viewed what he said, he's like, I'm so disappointed in what I did say versus what I didn't and all that stuff. And like even Dan, because there's no doubt that he did those inappropriate touchings that made Kelly, Missy, and Molly, and a couple of the others uncomfortable. There's no doubt. We've seen the clear footage of that. But did there get to be some kind of misinformation along the way? I think so, based on how best I was able to recap everything. And did a remark or two get misconstrued? I think so. But then, to go even more devil's advocate, was Dan's apology good enough? No. I couldn't pinpoint exactly what the problem was, but as I was listening to him, I'm like, well, I think there is an honesty to his words. This isn't enough. Dalton Ross points out in his recap that he should have spoken to Kelly directly, but he didn't, partially because you're not supposed to, although I wouldn't have been surprised if Jeff would have allowed it in this particular situation, but he only really came up with what he did when he was forced to. So there's all kinds of problems here. And the game did get mixed in with real life, unfortunately. Again, that did happen in Worlds Apart, but what happened in Worlds Apart is very common on Big Brother. You're just not used to seeing it on this show. This is not Big Brother. This is not Big Brother at all. It could be that something like this happens on international versions, I wouldn't know. But, international versions of Big Brother, I mean, because they regularly expel people because of, issuing rude comments, breaking the rules. That happens all the time there, whereas on the US, that barely seems to happen. Usually people walk, it seems. Actually, how's that happen? Justin, Shima. Okay, right. Getting back to this show. So I'm not defending Dan's actions. Am I defending his words? A little, but this is just a mess, this situation. Right. And now I'm supposed to try and talk about the other stuff, which pretty much come into like afterthoughts, as Dalton Ross indicated, because the challenges, nice challenges, putting aside the feelings that Kelly did, trying to target someone that she actually viewed was a threat, but then jump back to Dan because other people were starting to agree with her, and only when she felt that like there was a good enough momentum behind the other people's actions. I applaud her for That in a difficult situation where there's no way to get away from Dan. Well, no true way to get away from Dan. And then Jamal's fiasco with losing his vote automatically, but then him trying to come up with the legacy advantage. But it's not a entirely bad idea, and it does paint a target more on Dean's back, but I'm like, it's still likely to just as much paint a target on your back. I'm thinking that the best thing he could have done, actually, was to come back to the camp and say to everyone, yeah, what I found in the tree, it cost me my vote. Now, that does make him a vulnerable target, but he was already vulnerable. I don't know about you, but I think that would have been the better option, to be honest. You can argue that. It's fine. You got justifiable things to say. What else to mention here? I'm surprised Tommy, in that second immunity challenge, held on for as long as he did, because wouldn't it have made more sense to just let go so that Aaron has a greater target on his back? It could be that the two of them are still trying to work together, because tribal lines really seem to be out of the equation, unless, behind the scenes, it's Purple Tribe 2.0 taking out everyone else. It's possible. Let's see, anything else to mention here? Kelly getting voted out with 2 idols in her pocket. So we got another member of that club, and that's the 3rd person voted out with an idol in their pocket this season, except Vince's idol was temporary. Chelsea and at least one of Kelly's idols were the real McCoys. And was that second idol improperly hidden? I don't think so, not if the beach that they ended up on was the Purple Tribe's beach, because then it was already there. But now, is there down to just one real idol now? I would assume so, but it's possible that they've changed that. It's been forever since we've had a season that has only 2 tribes in it throughout it, because the last time I think that we had a season where we didn't have 3 tribes at some point in the pre-merge was San Juan del Sur. Yeah, it's literally been that long. That's crazy, isn't it? Okay. Janet playing that, yeah, she felt like she had to. Jamal's exit, it's a little unusual given how we've gotten a little bit used to people saying no hard feelings at the end there, but I don't think actually he's a bad person compared to what I was thinking could happen to him during those first couple of episodes. He's got problems just like everyone else, but is he a nice person? I'd like to think so. Like, if I was on this show, do you think that I would be a perfect gem? Hell no. I'd be viewed as a dick really easily, or as someone who just cannot integrate socially with other people. I've already explained why I'd have that issue, both on this show and in real life. Watch all my Survivor videos, you'll find it eventually. I think this has gone on long enough. See ya.